So Caitlin Clark is at the Indianapolis Colts game. I'm not going to lie, I know absolutely zero about the Indianapolis Colts, except for the fact that in Madden 2007, they had Peyton Manning, who, if you played Madden on the lowest difficulties, like 10-year-old Mick did, who knew nothing about football, you could throw 100-yard Hail Marys with Peyton Manning because his rating was so high on rookie difficulty every single time. Do I know who any of his receivers were? No, but they were also the highest rated team in Madden 2007. That's the only thing I know from the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not going to lie. I don't pretend that I know anything. But the Indiana Fever were in the building. You had Ari McDonald. I think, was Tash Howard there? But you've got Caitlin was there with Connor. Ari McDonald was there with her boyfriend, I think. KK Timpson was there. And obviously Caitlin Clark showing the number 22 jersey, not wearing it. I like that. I like that. Like as an avid Leeds United fan, like if I was going to another team's game, well, it depends. If I was ever invited to like a Barca game, I wear a Barca jersey, or make sure it's Rafinha on the back. Make sure it's Rafinha. Leeds. But yeah, I would. If there's any team in England, I don't think I'd wear the jersey. I don't think I would, and I like that. I like that as a fan. But you see here with the caption, Colts at Fever in the building. They literally changed the caption. Someone said when it's LeBron in the building. So basically, they changed the caption. 22 and the Fever, instead of naming each individual player. And they literally deleted the tweet. So whatever about Instagram where you can edit, where you could edit it, they actually took down the tweet celebrating the Fever. So because people complained, they said Caitlin Clark 22 and the Fever, while showing Caitlin Clark's number in the middle, because they said 22 and the Fever instead of naming the ball individually, they literally took down the tweet. So now, as far as I'm aware, the Colts now have no posts about the Indiana Fever. I think they've got no posts about the Fever today. So because, fans were so outraged that they were, they were showing off Caitlin Clark, because they were so outraged that they captioned it, Colts and the Fever on Twitter, they just said, you know what, fuck the WNBA. We're just going to take down the tweet, and we're not actually going to promote you guys at all because of, all of this bullshit. And I mean this, I think there's a lot of people that are like that as well. I think there's a lot of people that are like that, where they want to talk about the WNBA. Heck, Pat McAfee was the same. And he was like, well, I mean, it becomes something that's not. Like, people will attack you for anything if you talk about the WNBA. Like, let's be real. Like, I mean this when I say this, I would have stopped doing all this if I hadn't spent being a decade on the internet getting abuse every single day. Man, I've been an Irish person in basketball for a decade. So you better believe that, like, I've gotten so much hate. And if it wasn't for that, like, all the random ass TikToks, all the comments, all the emails I get, the threats, death threats, everything, like, I absolutely would have been gone just from trying to talk about women's basketball and trying to keep a ball as much as possible. And yeah, it's gone. So now on the Twitter, at least in fairness, at least it's still on their Instagram. They changed the caption. It's still there on the TikTok. But at the end of the day, the Fever are in Indianapolis, and instead of actually, making it a big deal, instead of it being a big deal on all social media platforms, they said 22 and the Fever, and the Hatelans took over the post with so many comments, complaining about their caption. They just said, you know what, fuck it, we're just going to take down the post. That is one of those funny things, is like, when it comes to, oh, you can promote the WNBA, but it has to be in the exact specific way that we want it. Otherwise, we don't want you to, otherwise you shouldn't promote the WNBA. Yeah, it is. It's mad. It's just mad. And everything we're seeing from this, look, I think the league is probably going to go into a lockout because I don't think the players get what they want in the CBA without there being a something about no unrivaled or no overseas leagues. I think if the teams budge and give the players what they want, they won't be allowed playing unrivaled. They won't be allowed to play overseas. Like, I think they might maybe push the season to end in like December. They might try to make it. You know what would be? I know NBA Christmas Day would be cool. I don't know, maybe like WNBA Finals Game 7, if it happens, is Christmas Eve. Like, I think that would be cool. That would be cool, I guess. But then they probably complain about having to play near Christmas. Like, I don't know. But if they want, like, the WNBA realistically could, because the NBA, no one cares about early NBA season. I understand NFL is the NFL. I understand you're trying to compete with the NFL, but basketball fans are basketball fans, especially if you're competing worldwide. Like, the NFL doesn't eat that much into worldwide views. Yes, it eats into USA views, but like, if they're smart about it, they get extra money. You would get all the extra money. Like, this is realistically the best thing the players could get is let's just say 10x in salaries. A 10x in salaries. 10x to the salary cap. So the salary cap goes from 1.5 million per team to 15 million per team. I still think that keeps teams in the green. It keeps well-run teams in the green with a 15 million salary cap. So their salary's 10x. As well as that, their season goes from May to December. So they have a 5-month off season, which still gives them tons of time. Like, it gives them time to, it gives them time to take a month break for international play. It gives them time to, it gives college ball time to be there. It gives kind of its own kind of like period of time. But you go back to training camps. So you're off January, February, March. April, you're starting to work your way back. You're starting to work your way back in and into training camp. The draft training camp all happens in mid to late April. And then the preseason starts at the start of May. Like, that probably should be what it is. That would be a nice one. Then the playoffs are in November, December. So you go from, instead of at start of October, you go to, or start of September when the regular season ends, you go to starting of late October. And you play 55 games in a year. You play 50 games in a year instead of 40, 44. Like, and you split the games up so that there's some on each day. Like, that's the ideal scenario. But that would mean, no unrivaled. Oh, if that happens and the players don't get unrivaled, I don't know if it happens. But yeah, it does seem like all the promotion of WNBA has to be done in a very specific way. Otherwise, these old WNBA gatekeepers who claim to give a damn about the players don't want it. At the end of the day, I think every single one of these players, well, not every single one, I think every player that's on the Colts pitch right now would rather take a massive jump to their salary than be named in a caption on the Indianapolis Colts. Because let's be real, the people that are there in the fever know a lot of the celebrity treatment they get is because of that number 22 right there in the middle. But anyway, I'll see you guys.